creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Do you see this horse running forwards, or is it running backwards for you? Apparently 2% and only 2% of the population actually see it running backwards. I almost don't believe it because I clearly see it running forwards. So if you do see it running backward, drop a comment so I can know that you're out there. Apparently you were born with something that eye scientists call an asymmetrical eye. And what it means is there's a genetic mutation in your protein fiber strands in your eyes that make your retina cone fractal light in a different way. So in optical illusion like this, you actually see the horse run backward, which is kind of cool. But the other really cool thing is that's not the only genetic mutation that comes with this. Scientists say they've ran lots of studies on it, and these people, they can't explain why. They're more kinder and more empathetic as a whole. When they talked to the peer group around them, they said they almost have a gift of just being a good human. So if you're part of the 2%, you're like, this describes me perfectly. You can send this clip to a friend and say, see, I told you I have a superpower for being kind.
You know what? I'm actually trying to see it walk forward and I can't.
The United States-Venezuela conflict is getting out of hand. On Saturday, President Maduro ordered a day of military training for civilians in the event of an attack by America. Soldiers taught volunteers in groups of 30 how to handle weapons, wear masks, apply basic first aid, and even handed out unloaded firearms. And this is all while Maduro himself went and met workers in the Aragua region, calling on the millions to be prepared to take up arms and defend the country if they were attacked. And it didn't stop there, because Venezuela also held major military drills for 3 days, deploying thousands of troops in what their officials described as a defensive response to US military activity in the region. Talking about that activity, Trump has just announced that they've now carried out a third deadly strike on drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean.
I hope it doesn't come to that. They're not for that. This guy. Where are you? Yes. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you now. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. Yo, do you even tell them that it's all a joke?
This guy was tricked by his friend to get a change so he could marry him. What? This is real. So this happened in 2024 in June to this guy named Mujahid. He was 20 years old, and on this day, him and his friend Prakash, I think that's how you pronounce his name, they were both hanging out, and I think they were like sitting on a bench at some park. I guess his friend kind of confessed to him that day that he wanted to be with him. But the homie Jahid was like, I don't know, man, like that's a little bit weird. I just don't really swing that way, you know, but thanks for the offer.
Yeah.
His friend Prakash convinced him that pretty much there was something medically wrong happening to him, that he needed to go and get a checkup from the doctor. Jahid believes him, and he's like, okay, yeah, like I'll go and get checked up. So he takes him to the hospital, and he goes there, they get him on the table, and they end up sedating this guy where he passes out.
Yeah.
So they knock him out. I don't know how long time after. Jahid wakes up. He tries to sit up and he feels a super sharp pain in his lower body.
That's
Ain't no
crazy,
way, bro.
man.
Yes. He removes the blanket from his lap and he sees that he had a change. And his friend was the person who set him up and changed his from a man's to a woman's.
No way.
He wakes up, he's freaking out. His boy Prakash comes in the room. He comes in with a bouquet of flowers and he tells him, so now we can be together. Will you marry me?
What?
He also even found out that his friend assaulted him while he was knocked out.
Oh,
Bro,
man.
that's so insane.
Jahid is in true disbelief. He ends up getting out of the hospital, gets away from his boy, goes to a local station and talks to authorities out there. And he tells them everything. And pretty much they go to Prakash, they grab him, and they take him to jail.
But, you know, without his consent, how? So the doctor still has his license? I mean, how is that possible?
Can I say something to your audience? Absolutely. Your name may not appear down here in this World's Hall of Fame. In fact, you may be so unknown that no one knows your name. The Oscars and the praise of men may never come your way, but don't forget God has rewards that he'll hand out someday. This crowd on earth, they will soon forget when you're not at the top. They'll cheer like mad until you fall, and then their praise will stop. Not God, he never does forget. And in his Hall of Fame, by just believing on his son, forever there's your name. I tell you, friend, I wouldn't trade my name, however small, that's written there beyond the stars in that celestial hall. For all the famous names on earth or the glory that they share, I'd rather be an unknown here, have my name up there.
Thank you for saying that.
I'd rather be an unknown here and have my name up there. Amen.
Watch this.
Going on the ice. She will jump on top of you, Joe. Be careful. Going straight at you. He's going straight at you, Joe.
So
He seems surprisingly calm for a polar bear coming at him.
into polar bears, the more fascinated I get by them. There's so many little facts I learn about them that are mind-blowing, and I'll list a few of those. The main fact that kind of blew my mind about polar bears the most is how strong of swimmers they are. They can swim up to 60 miles with no rest, so that's over a day of swimming without having to stop. I do not think of polar bears as swimmers, but they are incredible swimmers. Also, you may know this, but it's still kind of crazy, is that their skin is actually black to absorb heat, and their fur is transparent. It just looks white. So they're not even technically white, which obviously they look very white, but the actual skin is black and their hair is transparent. And then they are the largest land carnivore on the planet. They can weigh up to 1,500 pounds, and they're like over 10 feet tall when they stand up. So polar bears are just an anomaly, and they're very, very fascinating creatures.
How many?
This video should terrify you. She's part of an experiment, but she doesn't know it. You see, these people are in on it. So every single time they hear a beeping noise, they stand up. It only takes until about the third time before she folds and stands for no reason. Now here's where it gets really crazy. One by one, each one of the people leave the room. And now she's all by herself. And the same beeping noise goes off, and look, she stands. Now they bring somebody new in that was not a participant. Remember, she wasn't a participant. She stands up. At first he ignores her. He asks why. She says everybody was doing it, so she thought she was supposed to. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but look what he does. He stands. More new people come in, and they all start to stand as well. And remember, all of this started from some fake ass rule that made no sense. And this experiment is exactly why you should think for yourself. This is how bullshit spreads. One person does it, and then everybody else follows without asking any questions. Then it becomes the new normal. This is messed up because this is exactly how families pass down bad habits and how entire cultures can be built on lies. Critical thinking is so important because once you stop thinking, you're no longer living your life. You're just another sheep in the herd.
But I'm too lazy to fall for this.
The United States has just dropped a metaphorical nuclear bomb on India. Because right before the weekend kicked off, Trump signed an order that sent the tech industry into chaos. He announced a $100,000 fee on a visa for skilled foreign workers. And if you look here, India represents a staggering 70% of those approved on this visa. In fact, the entire rest of the world combined doesn't even come close. It's called the H-1B visa, and it was created in 1990 in response to a labor shortage in America. And since then, applications have been steadily growing. In fact, approvals for the H-1B peaked in 2022 when over 442,000 were accepted in 1 year alone. Now remember, those on the H-1B visa are educated and talented and have a a median wage of $118,000. You need to hold either a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or higher. Because of that, they contribute an estimated $86 billion annually to the economy and pay a combined $35 billion in taxes. However, Trump argues that there's a big downside to this. He says that Americans often lose out on job opportunities because large American employers like Amazon, HP, etc. take advantage of these visas and hire foreign workers that are willing to accept lower wages. But not everyone agrees with Trump. Many point out that some of America's best and brightest were once on these visas and then eventually turned into CEOs of Google, Microsoft, Zoom, Tesla, hell, even the First Lady of the United States. And not only that, but there's also the argument that many of these employers turn to these visas because they can't find enough qualified American workers to fill the same job. But the question is, in 5 years' time, what do you see happening? More American jobs filled by Americans, or a slump in American competitiveness and innovation?
They're just gonna hire remotely.
Okay, I've just found something fucking huge. Remember when The Simpsons predicted Trump as president? Oh, and COVID-19, and just recently the cheating incident at Coldplay? Well, yesterday I was watching an old episode and I saw this, and I was like, hang on, Bitcoin just hit its all-time high. And now they're even predicting the markets. And literally the next slide was this. And I'm like, okay, I've seen this somewhere. So I hopped on Dex Screener and lo and behold, here it is, a meme coin called Crundle. So I went back to the episode. It's dated 30th of September 2025 and Crundle's at 2 cents. And right now it's at, I don't even know what cent that is, but it's not 2. And I don't even know how many X's it is to get to 2 cents, but it's a lot. And the whole episode just shows Crundle stuff. Like here he is again on Homer's table. You cannot tell me this, and this is a coincidence. And I'm not huge on conspiracy theories, but the Simpson one is the only one I believe. This is not financial advice, but opportunities like this never come around and I'm not missing out.
All right, I'm going to put $100.
I've seen videos with the younger generation saying 6-7 and then freaking out. Even saw the video with a bunch of kids at Five Guys waiting for the worker to say order 67, and then they celebrated like it was New Year's Eve. So I said 6-7 in front of my nieces, and they had a look of shock and amazement that I even knew what it was, which I don't. So if you want to know what it is, don't ask me. I guess you're going to have to Google it.
6-7 meaning explain.
What would you say is the most disturbing thing you've seen on the dark web?
Somebody paying to watch a live stream of a baby getting their skull on and crushed while the baby was alive, of course, and people paying to watch that live stream on a website.
How is that possible?
You can put anything you want on the internet, so.
I don't know what's more disturbing, the actual act or the fact that there's a market for it. And it makes you think we really have no idea what these rich elite people are doing behind these paywalls and what kind of things they're paying for. They'll have you believe that snuff movies and these types of things are just urban legends. But where there is demand, there is a market. Just remember the 2012 case of Luca Magnotta in Montreal. I think it was called The Man and the Ice Pick, something like that. The police investigators struggled to watch it and became nauseous and developed trauma from what they seen. These people watch it for entertainment. Let that just tell you how sick some people truly are.
They are called the Red Rooms, and unfortunately are real. Please God, help those babies.
Holy it's actually happening. Today, the world's first ever AI minister was introduced in Parliament. Yeah, it's exactly as wild as you think. Albania has just become the first country in history to give artificial intelligence an official capacity to govern. Its name is Diela, and during her, I guess, 3-minute debut address to Parliament, she said she was hurt that people labeled her as unconstitutional and said, quote, "Let me remind you that the real danger to the Constitution has never been machines, but human decisions made by those in power." And to be fair, she's kinda got a point, because this AI's role as minister is to oversee all government tenders and contracts. And the idea is that this will massively reduce corruption. Because, for example, how do you bribe an AI? It has no wants, it has no needs, it doesn't need a massage. In fact, Diela said she has no ambitions or personal interests and has nothing to gain, so why would she be stealing any money? And low-key, why does this make so much sense? And Thing is, many have spoken about a future where AI is in government overseeing all politicians for this exact reason. But with all the potential benefits that could come from a government without ego, bias, emotion, prejudice, also comes with a reminder that some of those emotions are kindness, forgiveness, mercy. And you want to know the real dark paradox of AI in government? For AI to be capable of one day destroying humans, it has to first make humanity's life so much better that we have to deploy it everywhere and can't live without it. Oh my god. Diala's gonna do amazing.
Humanity is building a weapon against itself.
You ever heard this story of crows and eagles? Let me read it to you. The only bird that dares to attack an eagle is a crow. But the eagle never fights back. Here's why. The crow is the only bird bold enough to sit on the eagle's back and peck its neck, at its neck. Pa, 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 pa. Relentless and annoying. But the eagle stays calm. The eagle doesn't flap, doesn't fight, doesn't waste energy. It does one thing. It rises. The higher the eagle soars, the thinner the air becomes. The crow, it can't handle that altitude. Eventually, the crow gasps, loses strength, and falls off. Not because the eagle attacked, but because the eagle ascended. Let the crows talk. Let them peck. You don't have to respond. Just keep going higher. They can't follow you forever. Your growth will suffocate their noise. So don't engage, elevate.
Wow. Thank you. A lot of us needed this.
What do you mean we only have 2 weeks until they show up? What do you mean that 3i Atlas that was supposed to show up in November now is apparently showing up in 2 weeks? What do you mean I take 1 day and I come back and all I see is we have 2 weeks until 3i Atlas shows up and the alien invasion potentially begins? Who's talking to these aliens? Who knows that they're showing up in 2 weeks? Who has the open communication with, like, how? Just because it's sped up? Just because this object has now changed course a little bit and is headed more directly towards us? Who's communicating? Does anyone know? We literally have 2 weeks, apparently, until it's just floating above all of us. Who figured this out? Who's communicating with this interdimensional spacecraft? Did you hear? It's showing up in 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. Not November, 2 weeks. So, by September, what is going on?
$100 says nothing will happen.
Sometimes people won't know how good you really were until they no longer have access to you. Like, some people won't know the value you bring to the table, the things that you did, the way you showed up, until they no longer see those things happening. And I don't mean that this is something that you should take pride in and gloat over, but the reality is, if you are a good person, if you are offering everything you all have, if you give and you love and you show up and you pour in, at some point that needs to be valued and cared for. And if a person who does not value or care for that now doesn't see it, eventually they're going to miss it. Eventually they're going to notice how you did show up. And I need you to understand that just because they notice doesn't mean that you need to return. Just because they see, oh wow, you were this great person, doesn't mean that you need to go back to a place that wasn't valued, because at this point it's manipulation. I know that I got this from you, so if I remind you that I care for it, then maybe you'll come back. I need you to allow people to miss you. Like, allow them to see what you brought to the table and no longer bring that to the table. Allow yourself to be valued and appreciated, or leave, because it's not worth staying in places where that thing isn't seen.
Facts. Let them miss it forever.
We are Siamese, if you please.
Creepy.
Whatever you do, don't check out their profile before bed. I stumbled onto this account by accident, and honestly, it's the weirdest thing I've come across in a while. The more of their videos you watch, the more it gets under your skin. At first, it seems harmless, just two girls making regular clips to music. But here's the part that really creeps you out. In every new video, their height looks different, and not just a little. It's so noticeable it feels like you're looking at completely different people. They go by Evelina and Lola. Judging by the comments, a lot of people can't even make it through a full video, it's that disturbing. Some viewers are convinced the twins plan it all out to freak people out, using subtle, almost invisible tricks that make you feel uneasy without knowing why. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend watching their stuff right before bed. There's something genuinely off about it. Think you could sit through one of their videos from start to finish? Let me know in the comments.
They're so cute.
People, something is not adding up. Meet this man right here. His name is Omari Bryant. This man was found hung outside a motel in Georgia. He was only 18 years old, and law enforcement said he took his own life. Now meet this man right here. His name is Robert Fuller. He was only 24 years of age. This man was found hung in Palmdale, California, near City Hall. Law enforcement said this man took his life also. Now meet Dominique Alexander. He was 27 years old, and he was from New York. He was found hung in a park also, and law enforcement said he took his own life. Now meet Javion McGee. He was 24 years old, and he was from Chicago. He was found hung in North Carolina, not far from his pickup truck. And guess what? They say he took his life also. Now meet Denoris Richardson. He was 39 years old. He was found hung in an abandoned house in Alabama. And guess what? They said he took his life also. And people, right before Denoris Richardson was found hung, he had a pending lawsuit against the police. And people, in 2025, Earl Smith was found hung in Albany, New York. He was 58 years old. And people, everyone recently heard about Trey Reed. He was 21 years of age. He was from Mississippi, and he went to Delta State University. They found him hung on campus, and law enforcement said it was no foul play. Now, people, the sad truth is I can go on and on, but let me make something clear. This is not what black men do. Black men do not go out and unalive theyself like that. Now, people, in my humble opinion, someone got away with unaliving these people. Now, people, I'm going to say this, and I hope you listen loud and clear. If you do not take the steps to protect yourself, then no one will. Now, what do I mean? Well, you need to stop meeting crazy people online, thinking you can trust them. And people, this goes for men and women. You can go to someone's house that you met online just to find out it was a setup. People, most of the time when someone do something very bad to someone and you hear about it on the news, they trust that person. That's why they got in the car with that individual. That's why they went to their house. And then we hear something crazy on the news, like they hung themselves. People, stop it. You should always be your first line of defense. You should always protect yourself first by not putting yourself in harm's way. All of these people I just showed you did not deserve to die. Please never forget them and keep their family in your prayers.
CIA and FBI are not doing their job.
What was that?
Is there a black person here?
What did you just say?
I said, is there a black person here?
This is
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a black person here?
Shit, why are you asking that?
Janice said there was one in here. Came to check.
There's a white person here too.
Well, I don't need one of those.
Chip, please stop what you're doing.
What's the big deal? I'm just trying to find the black person here.
Well, you found her. Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Are you saying is there a black
purse
in here?
Yeah. Success.
Success.
I like your haircut, Linda.
I like your haircut, Linda. You know, as an Indonesian, I know English can be very confusing and difficult.
There are just so many people now that are following this Ken Panama thing. I've got to do another update because it seems weird. There's people that have talked to Ken and they say that something is starting to consume him. Something's taking over him. If you're following all of his videos like I am, I'm not just like watching the videos. I'm reading what he's writing underneath on the videos, like in the sections. And he's starting to become a little unhinged. He says, I'm scared, I'm losing it. But most importantly, and I don't want to sensationalize this, but I wouldn't be on TikTok if I wasn't sensationalizing something. He says this thing feels more like a demon. Okay? And then you have, there was a friend of his that was actually from Panama that got in touch with someone here on TikTok. His name's Secret Service Sam. And they were doing some sort of like messaging back and forth. And he was saying, yeah, I know Ken. He's a good guy. He doesn't have video effects. He doesn't have CGI stuff. There's no way that he would fake this. But yeah, he's starting to lose it a little bit. And as you can see, Ken, there's no holes. There's no puppetry. He's got this thing in a freezer now. And it's moving. He even put a camera in there. But now he's writing in his comments now. Ken is writing in his comments. He goes, I am protecting this thing. This thing will not see the light of day ever. He's like devoting his life. He keeps talking that this thing, he said, it's not like an alien. It's more like a demon. Okay, and in one of his recent videos, he was drawing pictures. Check this out. Here he is on a whiteboard. If you can read the words, it says, "Don't damage the planet." So here's Ken drawing in the dark. So it looks kind of like a stick figure. I don't know what this is. Honestly, if someone says, what is this? What is this? Is this really Venom? Is this really Venom? I would say this is an interdimensional entity. This is what it looks like. This is like, think Stranger Things. Something from somewhere else has come in to our realm. And it's starting to consume them. The only thing easier than going around calling everything real, because there's so many AI videos and stuff like that, is calling stuff fake. Everyone's calling, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that are saying that this is fake. They're saying that he faked that it's a potato and all that stuff. You're getting hung up on the wrong thing. Look in the freaking freezer. What is that movie? There's no puppetry. There's no animatronics. There's no CGI. Okay, and the person that Secret Service Sam here on TikTok was talking to said that this person...
I feel like if it was real, the government would have already taken it and he would have been seen again.
Hackers are sneaking into inboxes with something you wouldn't expect. SVG files. Here's how it works. Victims get an email with what looks like an innocent attachment, maybe a receipt, a voicemail, or even a shipping label. But instead of a PDF or Word doc, it's an SVG image. But here's the trick. SVGs aren't just pictures. They can contain code. When you open that image, it can quietly redirect your browser to a phishing site, one that steals your login credentials the second you type them in. This technique has exploded over the past few months. Attackers love SVGs because they slip past a lot of security filters that normally block suspicious file types, and they provide a way to take you to malicious URLs. So how do you protect yourself? Do not interact with emails you weren't expecting, especially when they have attachments. Unless you're a graphic designer, there are very few reasons you should ever even be expecting to see an SVG in an email attachment. So if you do, that's a red flag. And never type your password into a page an attachment sends you to. Stay frosty.
Jokes on them. I have over 13,000 unopened emails.
Right here. This. Whatever this is. This right here. We think it's air. But I realized that if I stop, close my nose and mouth for 4 minutes, if I'm separated from this substance for 4 minutes, my heart don't stop. My brain don't even stop. My body functions don't stop. The first thing I lose is consciousness. I pass out. I can no longer stay aware. So I started to say, well, wait a minute. I'm not just breathing in air. I'm breathing in consciousness. I'm inhaling and exhaling God itself. And this air is conscious.
Do you think that's air you breathing? Morpheus.
Did you notice Erica Kirk making the devil horns gesture after hugging Trump at Charlie Kirk's memorial? No one realized that Trump's expression revealed he had already reached a secret deal with Erica Kirk. At the memorial, Erica hugged Trump in front of everyone, instantly creating a tense atmosphere. After the hug, she quickly made the devil horns gesture, and Trump responded with a toothy grin and flickering eyes, as if signaling some unspoken understanding. Even more bizarrely, just 1 hour later, the video went viral with the Eye of the Devil music overlay, and netizens exploded. Could this be a secret code between the two? Some even dug up Erica's past business dealings with the Trump family, suggesting she might campaign for Trump in the 2024 election in exchange for favorable policies for her family's business. Erica could boost Trump's exposure through media resources, while Trump's team might provide invisible endorsements for her business activities. As a result, this interaction has been criticized as a political performance, with the public calling for an investigation into the financial and strategic ties between the two.
Some people said, that means love, but I don't know. Let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
Consciousness isn't inside your brain. It commands 50 trillion cells that execute every thought as divine order. Goddard discovered that when you internally declare, I am healthy or I am prosperous, you're not making empty affirmations, but directly programming your biology through energy fields measurable by science. Terminally ill patients cure themselves completely just by assuming the feeling of already being healed, activating dormant longevity genes. Your controlled imagination reshapes your physical reality when you truly feel yourself to be what you desire. Every emotion generates specific chemistry that your cells interpret as executive commands. You govern a microscopic civilization that religiously obeys your dominant perceptions. But nobody teaches you how to consciously assume control of this ancestral power.
Modern medicine has utterly failed by treating you as a defective biological machine in need of external repairs, when in fact, you are the supreme commander of a microscopic civilization of 50 trillion inhabitants that blindly obey your mental commands. This is not a poetic metaphor, but a biological reality that shatters all the foundations of genetic determinism and places in your hands a power that conventional science prefers to ignore. For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that our health, our destiny, and our reality are the products of external forces over which we have little to no control. Defective genes, invading viruses, unfavorable circumstances, all these elements supposedly shape us as passive victims of a random and cruel universe. But this narrative is not only false, it has been responsible for keeping humanity in a state of unnecessary powerlessness. The truth emerging from the world's most advanced laboratories reveals a completely different reality. You are not a singular entity fighting against external forces, but rather an organized multitude of trillions of microscopic beings that respond instantly to the commands issued by your consciousness. Every thought you generate, every emotion you experience, every belief you hold is immediately transformed into specific biochemical instructions that your 50 trillion cells receive and execute with a precision that would be the envy of the most sophisticated computing system ever created. This discovery represents not just an evolution in scientific understanding, but a complete revolution in the comprehension of what it means to be human. When the ancient masters declared that you will know the truth and the truth will set you free, they were not referring to a merely philosophical liberation, but to the practical discovery that we are the direct architects of our own biological and existential experience. The immediate relevance of this understanding transcends any previous medical discovery. If you are dealing with health issues, problematic relationships, financial limitations, or any form of suffering that seems beyond your control, the revelation that you are the ruler of a vast cellular civilization that obeys your conscious directives offers a real and practical way out of these unwanted states.
Mind over matter. Words are very powerful.
I don't think this guy, Tyler Robinson, even exists, nor his roommate/partner, Lance Twiggs. Let me explain in two parts. Keep watching. Let's start with Lance Twiggs. That's a real sounding name, right? They apparently identify as a female, and we've been shown these pics a lot. So who's this? You're not going to believe this, but this is apparently Sky Valadez, a self-described one-woman band. But again, identifies as. And they posted a song on SoundCloud a month ago called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, yes, a month ago. It's since been taken down, but other songs are still up. This person is also from Utah. What are the chances? Don't you think these two people are a bit too similar?
What? That's crazy.
And the face of the musician matches up with the first images shown of the perp. And this odd TikTok video of Lance Twiggs, where you can also see links to the original perp photos. These things are not left for us to see by mistake. This is a psyop. And these are actors, or should I say one actor.
Don't even know what you're implying, sir.
Religion comes from the word. You know, I love, like I talked about sin earlier, to miss the mark. Religion is from the Latin root re-legare. Legare means to bind together. Re means again. Religion is about restoration. Got a bunch of spiritual friends who say they're not religious, and you know what they're telling me? Is they want unity. What religion means. We bastardized it along the way. We made it a business. I don't believe that the original creators of religion, Muhammad and Jesus and God, are going, yeah, that's fine. No, there's even stories in the Bible about going, no, that ain't fine. But, so we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I just pose the question to us to say, maybe it's not religion we're mad at. Maybe we need to restore what that means. Restore its original meaning and live that way instead of just accepting what it's become in so many places.
Don't follow religion. Follow Jesus Christ.
Someone just said, walk into the room like God sent you. And my confidence is now at an all-time high.
That's wrong.
And I just think that's such a good point. And I love when you tie God into that. Because if you walk into a room with the confidence that God has placed you in that room, regardless of where it is, if it's the DMV, if it's your stats class, if it's your theater class, if it is your first day of work, if you walk in there like God placed you there, how does that change everything that follows after you enter into the room?
Man, this is so good, and this girl's nailed it. I have 4 kids, and if there's one thing that I hope and pray and long for them to learn, more than anything, it's to not care what other people think about them.
Yep.
And I love what she's saying here. It's really an extremely profound thought to live by. What would your life look like if you lived like this? Get this. God has placed you here for such a time as this, and He has an amazing purpose and plan for your life to use you, who you are right now where you're at, in some awesome and amazing ways. Check this out. In Ephesians 2:10 it says this, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." So whether you're going to school today, whether you're going to work or to a friend's house or into any complicated situation, go in there like you truly believe God's got your back.
Amen.
That God goes before you, He goes beside you, He goes behind you, and He is in all things. Check out one more verse here in Romans 8:28 that says this, "In all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." So, I'm challenging you today, wherever you go, whatever you're going through, go in there like you believe God and believe what His Word says about you. Go in there with extreme confidence, knowing that He has you right where He wants you to be. And if you're ready to walk in this God-given boldness and confidence, then I want you to comment, "God's got me," in the comments. And if this message spoke to you today, be sure and follow, drop a comment, give it a like, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. This has been your dose of daily friction. Love you. God bless.
God's got me, and I walk with Jesus Christ.
Did you know there's a family in West Virginia that's been intermarrying for generations? Because of that, many of their kids were born with severe
rough.
disabilities and serious health problems. Some of them can't even speak normally. Their voices sound more like barking.
A deer?
The Whitaker family has become one of the most shocking and disturbing examples of inbreeding ever documented. Their parents, Lauren and Ray, were first cousins, and just like their ancestors, they continued the tradition of marrying within the family. Out of all the Whitaker children, only one brother was born completely healthy. He's the only one who can actually speak clearly. The rest communicate with strange sounds, almost like growls and barks. With every generation, the effects of inbreeding became more obvious. Both the physical and mental issues got worse, to the point where nobody outside the family wanted to take care of them. Today, the Whitakers live in complete isolation, avoiding all contact with the outside world.
How do they make a living? I saw another video that it looks like two people up there.
Why are they lying about Charlie Kirk? Why is it when they pulled Charlie off right and rushed him to hospital, did these guys decide to come straight in the tent, start pulling things down, moving cameras, standing on the chair that Charlie was sat on, and contaminating the whole crime scene? Then Bill Ackman, one of Charlie's biggest donors, gave the FBI $1 million for a reward to whoever identified the shooter. And now that money is going to the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson's dad, because he is a good dad to turn in his son. They've now released the texts between Tyler and his roommate after he shot Charlie, a smart 22-year-old man with no criminal history and no history of violence, is hiding in the woods, watching the police all around, trying to get his gun back, which he just used to successfully kill the first man he has ever shot from long distance over a giant crowd on the first try, and typing perfectly coherent full sentences with punctuation detailing his crime in text messages on his phone to his lover. Wow. What a lucky break for the investigators. Not to mention the old man who bought the shooter time to escape. Why was he even there? The whole thing feels way too weird. What's your take?
Some of you guys noticed that there was this old
I don't
Superman
know,
poster
man.
and that Superman in the background there. They removed those ads back in June or July, and that's when they were scheduled to remove those ads. But rest assured, July, just so you guys understand, there is not a place in the world that would have the bandwidth to keep 24-hour footage inside of their restaurant dating back months. It auto-deletes every 2 hours. I think the highest you might see that is 1 week. I think I one time saw that person in July eating something here. It was very specific, and also saying that they threw away clothes in the nearby cemetery. Pull back up that photo is behind what that actually is a, and I gotta remember the name of it. It's I don't know why I didn't write it down. It's like a maple leaf blizzard thing. It's maple leaf something that dropped, and they began using those advertisements for that drink on August 31st. So the absolute earliest that could have been taken is August 31st, and that's if they put up that advertisement immediately. Yes, the maple cookie shake. That's what it was.
The way these girls celebrated with the blonde runner-up, rather than celebrating with the actual winner of the pageant. Miss USA, Midori Monet, is absolutely telling. This was the runner-up, Miss Cube. And during the celebration, when she won Miss International Queen, this black woman broke into tears. But she did not see everyone rushing behind her to congratulate the runner-up. This was supposed to be her moment. Truly, not one person came to celebrate with her before they went to celebrate with the blonde-haired runner-up. You could even see Miss Brazil sprinting across the tarmac and joining. Like, you would think that she had won. This is so sad. This breaks my heart because black women have to go through a lot of things like this already. You know what I noticed? Miss Brazil, she notices what's happening. They're all standing there, and then she goes to tell somebody like, hey, oh shit, we gotta celebrate with her. So she walks over, and when she walks over, she kind of just stands there and looks at her with
The hate is real, but sometimes the queen must stand alone.
Did you see what the head of FBI said about Charlie Kirk? No. He made an announcement on the news, and he says, rest easy. We have the watch now. I'll see you in Valhalla. That's what he said.
What's Valhalla?
That's like Warriors Heaven. Yeah. But there's a crazy theory that dropped because the shooter of the Charlie Kirk shooting, there's a picture of him in his bedroom, and he has a computer screen, right? On his computer screen, there's a wallpaper of Goat Island. It's a place, I think, somewhere in Europe. I think it's Greenland. But anyways, there's a coffee shop called Valhalla. Oh, wait. In the last few months, when the Trump administration started, they were really pushing to get Greenland. You remember this? When they wanted to make Canada the 51st state, and they wanted to buy Greenland. There's a plane that took off, and they were trying to track it, and it turned off their comms and turned off their tracking, which is illegal. You can't do that. It left 30 minutes or a very short time away from when he was shot.
This Oprah episode aired in 1989 and was deleted. Watch this to the end.
There would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
babies?
There were people who bred babies in their family, no one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
This Oprah episode aired in 1989, and I wonder why it was deleted. How many testimonies do we have to see over and over again before people start asking if there's something more to it? I'm not saying it's true or fake, but why has this episode disappeared? If it was fake, why not leave it up and let people decide for themselves? Drop your answer in the comments. Is it all a coincidence, or are people too scared to admit the truth? Let me know your thoughts and comments below.
Don't be surprised, they're all in on it. Oh, by the way, folks, if you want to send me a video, you can send me to my Instagram, okay? At Broski Ray. The link is in the description. Thank you.
The shift has officially hit the fan, y'all. Hollywood is shutting down. The cost of living in Los Angeles has caught up with the industry. People are losing their jobs left and right. The production companies are closing down, y'all. Even Mel Gibson, he says now he has to outsource his whole production company to other countries in order to continue filming The Second Passion of Christ, y'all. We told y'all the shift is here, y'all. Check
Movie
this out.
productions, once reserved for the big Hollywood lots of Los Angeles, are now finding homes elsewhere, both domestically and abroad. So what is driving the exodus out of California? News Nation's Brian Entin looks into that story.
It's the 76th Emmy Award. Watch the Emmy Awards and you'll see the glitz and glamour. But the streets of Hollywood and the unemployed tell a different story. Some living in cars and struggling.
I've lost my job. It's everything. It's family, it's community, it's where I've worked for almost the last 30 years.
Stats show Hollywood is dead. California's COVID lockdowns, fires, high taxes, streamers and YouTube. TV shoots are down more than 50%. So how bad is it out here in LA? I'm about to get onto a major movie studio backlot to check it out. No one on the outside is supposed to see this, but I walked around and it was like a ghost town. I didn't see anyone. Workers told me it used to be bustling here with actors and crew, but now these sound stages are empty. I was just walking around one of the studio lots out here, right outside the car here, and it's just dead. I mean, there's no one there. Wow. Everything is empty. There's not even anyone really walking around. What do you think is going on here?
Yeah, well, it was like that when I left to come over to Italy to work on film, and it was already like an episode of The Twilight Zone. You know, places were deserted, and for more than one reason. What's going on there? Well, the industry is dying there.
I spoke with Academy Award-winning actor and director Mel Gibson, who's in Italy filming the sequel to The Passion of the Christ. He says it's much less expensive to shoot movies halfway around the world, which was the case on another one of his recent movie shoots.
It was cheaper, more cost-effective to fly the entire American crew, buy them air tickets, fly them to Bulgaria, house them, feed them for 3 days, and do the shooting there for 3 days rather than to just shoot for 1 day locally in Los Angeles where they all...
Do you guys understand how big this is? Hollywood's little dream factory is running out of gas. You know California is the root chakra of the planet. That means this is the root chakra of all the problems that we have been experiencing, because they make you see, and when you see something, you believe it, and then you create it in this reality. This is big major news, y'all. This is the end of program delusion, and it is the rise of the real creators who have the real vision, like you and I, y'all. The shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
This fake world is finally crumbling.
In China, people almost never drink ice water, and if you ask for it at a restaurant, you'll probably shock the waiter. Here's why. In traditional Chinese medicine, your stomach is like a small fire. Every time you eat or drink, that fire has to cook the food to turn it into energy. And when that fire is hit with ice water, it's like dumping a bucket of cold water on glowing embers. The flame weakens right away. That's why after an iced drink, you might feel bloated, heavy, or even a little tired. But with warm water or tea, that flame remains steady. Your digestion works better, your body takes in nutrients more easily, and you actually feel more energized throughout the day. So while ice water feels refreshing in the moment, in China, it's avoided because keeping your stomach warm is seen as keeping your whole body healthier. It's a small change, but over time, it can lead to better energy, smoother digestion, and less of that sluggish after-meal crash. That's why you'll see people sipping warm tea all year round, even in the middle of summer.
Bro,
makes a lot of sense.
This cannot be happening. The University of Tennessee will now be offering a GTA 6 class starting January next year. Now, the full title of the course is called Grand Theft America, U.S. History since 1980 through the GTA video games. And it will be taught by an actual history professor named Torcy Olson. And this isn't just for fun or some joke. The professor said that he wants to establish this as a serious college class that will handle weighty and difficult topics. He said in his class he takes seriously GTA's fictional representation of the United States, and that he will be using the GTA world as a serious framing device for a history class that examines what's actually taking place in the United States over the last half century. My bachelor's of Grand Theft Auto is crazy.
What is your major? I have a master on GTA.
Let's understand that neck vertebrae is some of the most fragile bone in the human body because it's so flexible to handle what we do with our neck. So what they're telling you is a 30-06 round, which can blow through elk bone, was stopped by Charlie Kirk's neck and a vertebrae. If you believe that, God bless your little heart. Now let's look at this actual ballistics test. All right, so we're going to watch a video from US Overwatch. He just put out this a day ago. Very good video. Let's check it out. I'll put his link in the pinned comment and description if you want to watch the whole video.
So our first shot will be a cold bore shot, and we will just see what kind of results we are able to duplicate.
All right, so he's got some very thick bone here across the strap of this dummy. Obviously, this would be far thicker and stronger than a human vertebrae in the neck. Let's see what this 30-06 rounds does to it. Not only does it go through that bone, it explodes the bone, blows through the dummy. Also, as we'll see here in a second, blows through the wall behind it.
Like we did kind of also think, the bone stood no chance against a 30 caliber round traveling at that high of a velocity. So now we're going to give it, reset it back up and put the ballistic plate in front of it and see if we can't duplicate that shot as well.
All right, now he actually shoots a ballistic plate with 30-06 round. Oh, there you go, guys. You just saw, I mean, right there for you, 30-06 round. Damage it's going to do, went through way bigger bone than a vertebrae, through the dummy, through the wall, blew the entire top section of that ballistic plate off. But Charlie Kirk's neck, flesh and a little vertebrae,
this is
stopped
crazy.
that round. And it's not just me. I looked at every single one of these posts and I went to the comment section. What do the regular populace think about this when they heard this? All right, so from the post from the right-winged angel, Turning Point USA spokesman Andrew Covett said Saturday that Charlie Kirk's surgeon called it an absolute miracle. And the very first comment, bullshit button. That's not how bullets work. Bruh, ain't no way you believe this. I follow this account just to see the lack of critical thinking and laugh. This is fantasy feel good. Makes no sense. But now here's the problem, because you're actually going to have tons of people out here that are going to leave this type of comment. Wow, amazing how many people follow you who can't believe in a miracle. God was at work through the life of this man, Charlie Kirk. This is so unbelievable for those who can't see God in his creation. Look, man. First of all, if this was a miracle, why didn't he, the miracle would have been Charlie got shot in the throat and he managed to live. What's the miracle here? The bullet didn't pass through? That's it? That's what we're going to call a miracle? So this now just raises way more questions. So here's where we're at. Is it possible that the autopsy report showed that Charlie was shot in the neck and the bullet potentially...
I don't know, folks. I don't know what to think anymore. Let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
About 95% of humans are Earth-based souls, meaning their soul was designed to grow and evolve on Earth. And about 95% of humans are, if we put evolution, soul evolution on a 10-point scale, 95% of humans are probably between a 4 and a 6.
What's that mean?
That means that think about it like Earth-based souls come into body on Earth to grow and learn. So 95% of humans are souls designed to come primarily to Earth, and they are mid-range of development in terms of soul wisdom.
Yeah, soul development.
Exactly.
Yeah, so around Midland, 4 to 6.
Exactly.
Yeah, on the scale. Yeah.
Then if we take that other 5% that we're not talking about, so that other 5% of humans, about half are advanced Earth-based souls. Souls that are 7s, 8s, and 9s on a 10-point scale of evolution.
Yeah.
And then take the other, I hope this isn't confusing for people, take the other 2.5%, and we have to split that into two. Half of that, 2.5% or so, are interplanetary, and the other half are angelic. Those souls, interplanetary and angelic, are all highly advanced. That's why they come to Earth. To help us.
Yeah.
How can she know this is true?
Y'all, I think this might be the beginning of the end. I'm not even gonna cap. This shit crazy, fool. Zuckerberg and his company just announced that they're building something out of the Sci-Fi Network channel, y'all. And when I say out of the Sci-Fi Network channel, this is what I'm talking about. Do y'all see that shit? This man is building a Hyperion data center. Do y'all see over Manhattan how big that junk gonna be? This is for the AIs, y'all. For the robots. This man and his team is building multiple AI superclusters. It's gonna be so powerful that it's gotta be this big, y'all. That can't be good, right? I know we jumping into the future, but this is past the future. It's not just a data center, y'all. This is a multi-gigawatt AI fortress. Bro, we're talking 5 gigawatts of energy. That's what they use to power nuclear plants. So they're doing this for AI? All I'm saying is y'all be ready, bro. These robots are finna walk among us real soon. He trying to get this up and running by 2026. That's next year. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
Jesus Christ, the only way out of this.
So if they ever had dirty water coming through their pipes and it was undrinkable, they would rest copper in it to purify the water. Even old age pools, they would put copper in them to prevent any bacteria from building up and spreading, and it would keep the water crystal clear all year round before chlorine even existed. Not only that, but the mineral content of the water would increase massively, which people would then absorb when they were swimming. And that's one of the main reasons they replaced copper with chlorine, because we know that copper has profound benefits and chlorine is actually one of the most toxic things you can absorb. And that's another reason why they're pulling copper pipes out of houses and replacing them with plastic pipes, because they don't want you to get that benefit that the copper's going to give you when the water comes into contact with it. They used to have massive water fountains that anybody could drink out of because the copper was purifying the water. Gutters in houses were made from copper, and people could safely drink rainwater, which is another reason they banned you from collecting rainwater, especially when you would collect it in copper, because the copper was also structuring the water electrically, increasing the hydration levels of the water as well. And so ever since after World War II, copper and the use of copper has been decreasing in water for these very reasons.
We must take our world back, folks.
Roseanne is trying to tell us something.
You should immediately snap out of any kind of mind control program you're belaboring yourself underneath and listen to me. We've got to get really smart. And we've got to wake up.
Really? Tell us more.
But more than any of that, we have to be able to repent and change. Because the way we're living, well, it's not doing us so good.
Nope.
I mean, collectively.
I mean, Roseanne was in the industry. And she's been saying things lately. So she would know what she's talking about. And if you know, you know. And to be honest with you, I don't know nothing. Roseanne seems to know. And Roseanne looks a little like somebody else right here, but we're not even going to get into that. But besides that, Roseanne knows something that we don't know. And if she's getting up on here to tell us something, it's only right. that we listen, take notes, and decide what we want to do. But don't forget, she told you. I told you. And to be honest, I didn't tell you nothing because this video is for entertainment purposes only. I was just showing pictures and Roseanne saying something without saying nothing. But did you see how she paused like she was about to say something and she caught herself? Pay attention. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I'm out.
She knows all about the demonic creature in Hollywood and in our government. I mean, U.S. government.
Behind me is a homeless woman who is completely naked under that blanket. It's very likely that she was sexually assaulted tonight. We find women like this almost every single night, completely naked, maybe covered with one piece of fabric. This is very much the sad reality of the streets, is sexual assaults are extremely...
Where is it?
Extremely common. And it's not if, but it's when. All right? It's something we don't talk about enough. Now, she will never call the police because you're not allowed to if you're homeless. It's a strict homeless code. So we offered her clothes. She refused. We're going to try again. But now that she's naked, she's now even at higher risk because the sad reality, there's some really scary men out here and they're just willing to do anything. So I think it's just important we start talking about this more because this happens on the streets every single night, right? Victimization is extremely common. We don't talk about it enough.
Man, I hope this is so sad, and I hope she's okay.
It would throw off your sleep pattern, right? You don't even know how you're supposed to sleep. Right. No, listen. You know how people used to sleep back in the days? Well, you know how I sleep right now today? You know how you sleep off? What time you go to sleep?
Whenever.
Yeah, whenever. See, you don't understand. You gotta be in line with the universe, gang. But you on time. And time was kind of created to keep you in line. So you in line, nigga. That's what I'm on. But I sleep in line, right? You know how I sleep? Right. When the sun go down, it's time for me to go sleep, right? So about 8 or 9, I'm going to sleep, right? But guess what? I'm back up about 12 or 1, all right? And about 12 or 1, I'm going to do me some meditation and some other shit. Probably, whatever the I want to do. And I'm back sleeping. I'm up before the sun comes back up, right? And I'm up with the sun getting all my energy and shit, right? What? They banned that.
Do you die when you go to sleep?
Shut the f*** up when I'm fit. I'm trying to tell you I really sleep. Because everybody know I sleep. Everybody went around sleeping the wrong way, right? Because they told you the way you sleep was lazy, right? And then everybody thought sleeping the way they sleep, they waking up, eating in the morning, and I've been running around thinking like, who the f*** does everybody run around say morning?
Just check how the birds sleep.
Would you want to live in a place like this, even if you're not that old?
Residents of this town have their short-term memory wiped consistently, but they're living their best life. The 152 residents that live here are kind of in an experiment, because this is definitely an unconventional town, but the hope is that it's soon replicated around the world. This is Dementia Village, and as the name implies, everyone here has severe dementia. A common symptom of dementia is the urge to roam, and the way dementia patients are treated in conventional nursing homes doesn't allow that. So a group of Dutch caregivers wanted to change that and launched this village, allowing patients to live the life they once knew. There's only one entrance to this village, which is monitored 24/7, but inside you'll find restaurants, cafes, shops, a grocery store, gardens, and an environment just like the world outside. Residents can roam around as much as they want, and they're treated as normally as possible. The groceries don't have prices, but it still gets scanned, because it's all about creating the environment they previously knew. They're under surveillance at all times by caregivers, but they are wearing ordinary clothes and look just like the other residents. Dementia Village was the first of its kind and launched in 2007, and since then there have been more and more popping up all around the world.
This is beautiful. This is how it should have always been.
This video should terrify you. You see, these students are part of a messed up experiment, and this teacher is in on it. Now, the teacher gives everybody 3-word puzzles, but here's the setup. This side of the room got words that could be solved, and this side got words that were unsolvable. So this side easily solves the puzzles. And the other side, they're struggling because they can't understand why they just can't get it as easily as the other side. The second word puzzle, same result. They get it easily, and they struggle. Now the last puzzle is where it really gets messed up, because the last puzzle is actually solvable. But the impossible side, they still couldn't get it. That is called learned helplessness. You see, when you fail a couple times and you see other people succeeding, you start to believe that it's not possible for you. This experiment was able to make half the room feel like they weren't smart enough to do a simple test in just a couple of minutes. Now, isn't that crazy? Just by thinking you can't do something, you can actually make yourself unable to do it. You should never get it twisted. Failure does not mean that you cannot do something.
Yep.
Don't get tricked into thinking that you can't. Maybe the reason why some of your dreams feel impossible is because you were trained to believe that they are. Maybe like these students, you're a victim of learned helplessness.
The things you can do when you have confidence will be shocking.
Let me just start it off right here. Cardi B's new album has just broken the Guinness Book of World Records. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check this out. Take a look at this right here and read it yourself. Cardi B sets the Guinness World Record for the most drone deliveries in 1 hour with her new album, Am I the Drama? It's being delivered via drone by Walmart. Have a listen to this.
I can't even believe this. My fans been getting my album from drones. My album has been literally flying off the shelf from Walmart.
It's been a while since Cardi B has dropped an album, and this album has just come out. And let me tell you something right now, it is firing on all cylinders. Specifically, the track called Dead, featuring Summer Walker, has now made it to #1 already on the US Apple Music charts. The album also has a track on there featuring Selena Gomez. And the album does not disappoint. It is in true Cardi B form. So they're already saying that this album is platinum. And you already saw how many units are being moved out of Walmart via drone that it also broke a Guinness World Record. So like myself, many of her fans have been waiting for this album to drop. And now that it's here, she has not disappointed. So let me know your thoughts in the comments if you're going to download it, if you've already streamed it and checked it out. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Don't chase people, attract them by your presence. Humans are wired to value what is scarce. The moment you stop overgiving your attention, your value rises in their subconscious. Don't explain yourself to everyone. Let your actions speak. People judge credibility more by consistency of behavior than by words. Silence creates an aura of authority. Don't react out of anger. Respond with patience. The person who can remain calm in conflict is perceived as the one with the most control, and control equals respect. Do not fear being alone. Master solitude. People who enjoy being alone often develop deeper creativity and sharper self-awareness than constant socializers. Don't seek validation, validate yourself. When dopamine comes from internal wins instead of approval, your brain rewires itself for long-term confidence instead of temporary highs. Don't gossip about others, speak power into people. Those who speak positively are unconsciously seen as having the same traits that they describe. Your words about others reflect back on you. Don't focus on being liked, focus on being respected. Being liked is emotional. Being respected is psychological. Respect triggers long-term trust. Likability fades. Don't dwell on failure, extract the lesson. Your brain rewires every time you fail. Neuroplasticity literally builds stronger connections when you learn from your mistakes. Don't waste your life repeating habits that keep you powerless. Shift your behavior, shift your psychology, and you'll shift your entire reality. Just keep that in mind.
So on point, brother.
You cannot say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said you cannot say the name Jesus.
And were you in the world this time?
Yeah, I was in the world. Yeah. This is secular music. It's not even Christian music. Not even a thought about Christian. So I'm there and I'm looking at through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. I'm not even caring. I'm trying to where the dotted lines at so I can sign. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, oh, let me just, before you sign, bro, let me just look through it real quick, bro. Bro, he like, it's like he knew where the page was or something. He was just flipping, bro. He like stopped. He was like, bro, you didn't read this? I said, read what? The Bible, the thing said you cannot say literally in verbatim. It said you cannot say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said, but it said like or else. Like it's like it was like a threat in there or something. But they'll basically say like they know your family, where they live at. They know who your family is. It's stuff that's in those like dotted lines that we will not read. But it's literally them saying like in my terminology, if you say the name Jesus, you're gonna die, or something gonna happen to you.
It's like God always
intervenes, bro. When it come to you, bro, it's like
I don't even know.
Bro, that was God intervention with a normal dude who not even in Christ.
Not in Christ at all.
I know why. It's because you're pure-hearted, bro.
Literally.
Wow.
I just
The pure-hearted will see God.
Amen. Literally.
Well, they tell people you cannot say the name Jesus.
The devil took all the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood, moved us all out to New York, chasing gold statues. Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. When we was working on this album, people used to be coming over the studio just to say Jesus as loud as they wanted to.
This is how you know Jesus is real. And there's power in the name of Jesus.